Alright, I have been using this DJI Osmo Mobile 7, this thing over here from a little over a week now, and also I had been to a trip to Banff in my recent days and I just spent my fun a full day with this DJI Osmo Mobile 7, and here is my review about this thing. And yes, I did use this gimbal, and here is a proof of me carrying my Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra with this DJI Osmo Mobile 7. And yes, I said it right, I use this thing mostly with my Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra and not my iPhone 16 Pro Max, and there is a reason for it that I will mention later into this video. So let us get into the details, the nitty and the gritty, and what I really think about this device. And disclaimer, I will be going and returning this device to Amazon because this is not a device that is very much ideal for at least my day-to-day usage, and I will give you my reasons for this thing over here in this video. Now, this gimbal does what it says, and it does give you a very smooth footage whatsoever. The Active Track 7.0 is what this company calls it as its latest technology in the terms of the tracking thing, and it does work really well. But despite of its awesome trackingness, this thing really lacks in is a proper application for the Android smartphones, and this is just a big surprise because DJI is a big brand, and I almost use a lot of the recording equipments from this same brand, and it is just a very awesome one. And seeing that this thing it does not really have a proper Android application is a big bummer for me, because mostly I use an Android smartphone. I gave my Apple iPhone to my wife, and I did start to record the video or the vlog for the Banff trip with the Apple iPhone. I started it in about, I would say, 6:15 or 6:30 in the morning. I'm not too sure about that. And by the time I reached Banff, that is about a 1.5 hour trip from Calgary, the battery on my iPhone 16 Pro Max, it was just dead. I did not even take a lot of shots, and that was just a surprise to me that how much juice or how much power this application, that is the DJI Mimo or the Mimo application, it was just using a lot of battery on my iPhone, and I was just not even using my iPhone on 100% brightness. And also at the same time, my iPhone was 100% charged when I left my home. And yes, this is again one of the biggest bummer. So I had to switch back to my Android smartphone, and the moment that I started to use, there was one bummer that I would just mention. But I can say one thing, using this device with my Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, it did allow me to use this device for a little over, I would say, 6 hours, with still about 18% battery left by the end of the day. That is amazing. But the thing is that I was not able to use this device properly. I could just not use any of the modes that is inbuilt into the application because it is not being connected to my Android smartphone via a Bluetooth thing. It was able to get disconnected. So about after, I would say, 3 minutes or so, it automatically shuts down, and I have to re-engage this thing by using this M button so that I can just turn it on. And again, it is just a pain in ass, I would say, if it is the correct word, to use this thing with any kind of Android smartphone. So I would just recommend to have the DJI Mobile 7P version if you just want to do so, because it does come with an AI module that can be paired with your any kind of smartphone as well. So if you're using an Android smartphone, you can just use the official application, which is a good thing to go. Now the second thing, as I already said, that we have to log in into the DJI Mimo application. So even if you're having an Android smartphone, or not actually an Android smartphone, so even if you're having an Apple iPhone, it is again a big struggle, because when I started to use this thing, I was struggling to connect this thing with my iPhone, and I am a very technical person. So what I had to do was that I had to go to the Apple store, I had to download the application, and from there I had to do a search on this device, made sure that the Bluetooth mode was on this device, and then I was able to pair this thing seamlessly with my iPhone. And was it necessary? I just do not think so, because I know that the Flow Pro 2, whatever is the naming, I think so it's Insta Flow 2 Pro something. Again, I do not know the exact name, but you got the point that what device I'm talking about in this video. That device, it does have capability to just get paired instantly with that gimbal, and this is not something that you can do on this thing over here. And for about $135, I do expect this thing to be easily be paired with my iPhone, because $135, that what I spend including taxes in Alberta for this thing, I think so that it is just not worth your money if you just have to go a couple of steps more, knowing that Apple officially sells this device on their Apple stores as well. So yes, again a big surprise, but not something that what I was expecting. Now the next thing. Now I am using a DJI mic right now, and I'm just paired using a transmitter and a receiver setup on my DSLR. But what if I just want to connect my DJI mic directly to this thing over here? Now again, I just did not search anything and I just did not want to. And the reason is that I was just rushing into that Banff thing, and I just did not have time to figure out that how to connect this Bluetooth thing with my DJI Gimbal. If I just want to pair this microphone into a Bluetooth mode, I know how to enable Bluetooth mode on my mic, but I was just not able to find my microphone in the application. And even when you just do the recording using the DJI Mime application, it just does not show that if there is an ability to just connect it with the Bluetooth microphone, or if it was connected using a receiver and a transmitter option. So I just had to carry the entire setup in my entire trip. That made the whole thing a bit more bulky. I could just have taken this part over here, and I was just able to go anywhere around and connect this thing, the Bluetooth thing, with this DJI thing, and just be able to use the setup seamlessly. But again, because I could just not even use my iPhone after half of the setup, I'm just not even too sure if this thing was possible on the Android counterpart or no. So this is a big bummer that not a lot of people have talked about in their videos. So yes, this is one of them that you wanted to watch, and this is what will make you aware about this device. It is not certainly a bad device, but something that they could have just made a very seamless integration with their devices. Now, one of the things that you might have heard from a lot of YouTubers as well is that when you just want to take a top to bottom shot, or maybe if you just want to do it very low and just have a smooth shot from down to up, that is the point when this thing it really struggles. It struggles to balance the weight on this device, even though that it is rated for 300 grams. That is about enough for my Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. I'm sure that my Samsung smartphone it does weigh less than this thing, but because the motors are just not very much capable enough, or even any small handheld gimbal that is using a smartphone setup, it might not be able to do so. The only one that I know is again the one from the Insta360 thing, the Flow Pro 2. I know that they have made some kind of adjustment where you can just take this part a bit up, and it has got a kind of a tripod thing, and you can just tilt it down at an angle, and then you can just take top to bottom shots or bottom to top shots with no issues at all. But not something that this device is capable of in its 7th generation, which is again a very much bummer for me. This is again the 7th generation of the device, and they should have just heard and listened to what the consumer want, and they should have just delivered a better device in my opinion. Now on to the other things. One thing that I like about this setup is that it has got a type C setup. As you can see over here, there is a power on and off and a manual mode, as you can see over here. So this is the power thing, and you can see it is combined with this manual mode. And whenever you switch the manual mode over here, you can just turn into different options that are available on this device. Just to give you a brief that what options are there. Now you have got again the controls, that is the PTF mode, that is the most common one I would say, and it allows the camera to view and follow the gimbals pan and tilt movements and remain stable during any kind of tilt shots or something. So again, I think so it just gives you a very stable shot during the rolls. Now this mode is again great for capturing up, down and diagonally as well, but you just do not want to take shots that are too low and too high, or just the pan shots from down to up, not the pan shots, the shots where you just need to take the gimbal very low and from low to up. I think so that it can just not handle that kind of situation. Now the second mode that is there on this device is the FPV mode, that is again following the gimbal movements in all the directions. If you have got some kind of landmark or building inside of the frame, you can just adjust the focus on that building, and whenever you are moving, the main focus would be on the window, and the shots will just be taken accordingly, and it just makes the entire video a bit more cinematic in my opinion. So yes, it is a good one. Now the third mode is the PF mode, that follows the gimbal's pan movement and remains stable during the tilts and the rolls. Again, it is ideal for filming horizontal or whenever you are moving around the subject, so it is a good one. And the last one is the spin shot, that if you just have got any kind of shot where you just want to spin the entire phone like in 360-degree or 180-degree direction, you can do it with this thing. Now again, the exact angle is not what I really know of. I have to read the entire spreadsheet, but it does not give you the full movement. It will suck at one of the movement that it will show you in the application that the maximum movement has reached. So again, a good feature, but not the one that will give you a 360 rotation on this device. Now also on this gimbal, you have got this joystick to move the gimbal around from one position to another, to tilt and move the phone around. And also you can see that there is another button over here that you can use to just zoom in and out of the subject, which is amazing. And also once you fold everything down and just also bring out this tripod, you can see over here it is just a very handy setup to carry around, and it can just fit in your pocket very easily. So the build quality and the construction on this thing is actually not too very bad. And also it does show you the indicator for Bluetooth and also the battery life on this gimbal. So if it is this light green, it means so that it is half of the battery that is left on this device. If it is dark green, I think so it is 100%. And when it goes to the red one, I think so it should be anywhere between 25% to 0%. So yes, it does give you a bit of the indication, but you can see in real life in the camera application that what is the actual the battery percentage that is left on this gimbal. Now one another thing is this button on the back of this gimbal. Now if you click it once, it will just allow you to track a subject. You can just make a focus on something. You can draw horizontally on the subject that you want to be focused on. But if you triple click on the back of this thing on this gimbal, it will allow you to switch the entire frame from front to back. So it will just rotate the camera to the other position from front to back. But one thing that I did not like about this gimbal is that whenever you are recording any sort of video on this thing, on a recording video that is already being recorded, you cannot switch between the front camera and the back camera. So every time you have to just turn off that shot, that particular moment, and then you need to press the start recording button again, or maybe from the gimbal itself, and then it will be changing its view to the front camera. It might be a glitch in the application or something, I'm not too sure about, but whatsoever, even on the latest firmware, I was not able to switch between the front and the back camera with this button over here, which is again, I would say, not a good experience. Now there are some other fancy application features on this thing, just like the dynamic zoom. Now what it does is that it tries to zoom in and out and give you a kind of a stretched view that is panning in and out of the video, which is again a cool effect. But I just do not want to get into all the effects into this video. You have got some awesome pan shot movement, some kind of panoramic movement, some kind of time lapses, which is great. But the one that I really love is the parents and kid mode. Now what it does is that you just need to make sure that you open the legs of this thing and just lay it flat on the ground, just like this thing. And once it is laying flat on the ground, you can just enable this mode and it will start capturing different movements between you and your child. It will take a couple of clips, and at the end, if you just are satisfied with whatever is taken, you can just cancel that option in the application and it will give you a number of clips. And also it will give you an option with a few of the different templates that you can choose from the library to stitch them all together and make some kind of memory, which is great. And again, being a new parent, this is one feature that I really loved about this device, and I'm just glad that this thing is being enabled into this device. And I think so for about $135, if you are a parent and if all that you want to do with this setup over here is to take some beautiful memories between you and your child, I think so that it is really worth the money. But apart from that, I just told you a couple of things that I did not like about this thing. Now the company claims that it has got a 3350 mAh of battery, which is great on paper, but in my testing I was not able to get more than about 5 hours of battery life. And in middle of my trip I had to just carry some kind of portable charger so that I can just connect it with this device and be able to just continue using this device with my Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. So yes, the battery life is not about 10 hours for sure, But when this company claims that you are able to connect this thing backwards via a cable to your smartphone and be able to charge it, I just think so that it is just some kind of marketing strategy. Yes, you can charge your smartphone with this gimbal, but if you're just not even being able to get the 10 hours that you just want out of this device, I think so it is just nonsense to even just include this feature onto this device, just to not enable it and just get a battery life out of this device and deliver about 20 hours of battery life on this gimbal to be able to be used. So even by the end of the day, you have got some juice left on this device if you just want to have some kind of reverse charging enabled on this gimbal. Now onto the last thing is that I know that you can just buy a separate clamp or maybe a separate AF module for this thing. That is, I think so that the AF module is about $54 on Amazon and the clamp is about $25 to $28. But I think so for about $135, DJ could have just included a magnetic mount to be able to be used with any kind of device with a bit more ease. I just do not like the tight clamp that comes with the this thing that is a manual one. So one thing that DJ could have just included that would just have been a very great one to use that device in a better way. And now with that said, one last more thing that I want to talk about in this video is that if you just want to adjust any kind of smartphone with this device, again 300 gram is the weight, but the application also have got an option to just stabilize the gimbal after you have just put it on the clamp. So yes, one thing that is available which is a great one and a great option that is being provided by DJI. And well, with that said, that was all that what I wanted to share about this DJI Gimbal Mobile 7, a great device, but I think so it could just have been a bit more better device if DJ was able to just fix a few of the flaws that was already there on their 6 series. They could have just fixed those things in the 7 series, but they just decided not to do so. And also at the same point, they could have just included some kind of a selfie stick mode on this very base model along with a magnetic clamp as well, because hey, you know, $135 is just not a very low price. And just looking at the competition, I think so that the competition is just giving a lot more for almost the same price as what DJ in this day and time. But do let me know that what are your thoughts in the comment sections below, and how has your experience being using this device if you have got one at your home as well. That was all about this video. My name is Anshul. Thanks for watching and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.